A lot of people watched it, but nobody's watching day to day, all day, unless you're me and just love this stuff. Procedures are okay, but we want to know, where do you stand? And so I think the more that politicians stop trying to be politicians and be people, then that will engage voters. We reject alternative facts, so come on in here and let me educate you on the facts. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Daily Political Briefing. It's me, your host, QuentinRJiles, your political best friend. But if we're going to be friends, then you know you have to call me Q. And I am just so thankful and so appreciative that you all are here on this Friday night. Baby, y'all could be anywhere that you want to be. But on Friday, you are here kicking it with me. And we have a great, awesome show lined up for you. In a minute, I am going to bring on the legal queen herself to talk to us about contracts, copyrights, business law, all that good stuff for all of our entrepreneurs that are trying to get up off of the ground, or may even already be in the process, because I was kind of already in the process prior to getting a business attorney. So what I want to do first is really just spend a couple minutes just to kind of update you all on the status of everything that has gone on. So by now we talked through the video with the cop and all that. We did that whole thing yesterday. Today, I actually talked to the internal affairs sergeant. I talked to him via phone. And so I will be making a formal complaint against the officer. I feel like I have to keep reiterating this. My story has been told a couple times on local news, but I think this piece is still kind of getting cut out, so I'm just going to reiterate it. Is that if there's guilt, I have no issue with, me like if I broke the law, if there's a consequence to pay a ticket, I don't have a problem with that. My issue was the tone, the condescension, and the you were about to let me go, but then you changed your mind when you saw me and got back behind me and flagged me down. That is my issue. So that is what I'm trying to shed light on. So like I said, I've talked to the sergeant today. So I will be meeting with them Monday. We actually have an appointment for me to meet the internal affairs sergeant Monday to hand deliver my complaint against that officer. So that'll happen then. And I will just update you all along the way, like as I go, and just to see what happens. I've done a couple TV interviews today about it, so those should be airing in the Houston market. And then on Monday, I am slated to be on NBC LX, which y'all know it's interesting because y'all know I be on the People TV anyway, but I'm always talking about the story. I'm always talking and giving analysis on the story. Baby, I don't be the story. Like I wonder this how Wendy feel. I don't want to be the story. I want to talk about the story, but I'm gonna talk about it. So Monday we'll be on NBC LX, which is fun. Love those people down there, and I think that'll be a great opportunity as well for me to get the full story out, because they definitely do more conversation style interview instead of like kind of playing quick clips from what I've said. So yeah, that's that. So yeah, so now I'm going to bring up Miss Marina Banks. I'm super excited. Just to give y'all a little background, a little full disclosure. I know Marina. If you saw the promo video, like a week or so ago? That was about a week ago. I don't know, baby. I done lost track of time since these past 2 days. About a week or so ago, we were in person. We actually serve on the Houston Area Urban League Young Professionals Executive Leadership Board. So that's how we know each other. And then professionally, I'm going to say it. She probably wasn't going to say it, but I'm going to say it. She's my attorney as well for all my business dealings, all my contracts and whatnot. So who else to bring but a person that I work with who I feel as though I can vouch for. So let's bring Marina on up. Hey, Marina.
Hey, happy Friday. I'm good. I am blessed to be here. Yeah. But most importantly, I'm happy it's Friday because I need a break.
That part, you and me both. You and me both. Well, down here we're under flash flood consideration. So, it may be a long weekend in the house for me.
But that's what I need. I don't know about you, but that is what I need.
That's what you need. Okay. Tell your dog, don't be upset that you can't go walking and all that. Tell your dog, go outside, do your thing, and come back. So thank you for being here to inform us and the Q crew. Thank you so much. Like I said in the opener, like you are the person I lean to, the person I go to, my business attorney. You have helped me file my trademark, which we're still waiting on that, right? But you explained the whole process. So it'll be here when it be here. You are the person, I think you did my operating agreement for my business. You've done some NDAs for me. You've done my contracts for my interns. You've done my independent contractor contract. I think that's it. I think that's all the work we've done thus far. So we work, right? So what I say all that to just lay a foundation for the people that are listening. Like, this is just not somebody I'm pulling out of thin air. So could you tell us, like, why is it important, like with what you do in this business world for people, right? As a lawyer, why is it important for you to be doing what you're doing for us, the entrepreneur?
Got it. So unfortunately, statistics are kind of frowned upon for small businesses, right? Majority of small businesses within 2 years of starting actually close. A lot of that can be stopped by having a proper legal foundation for your business. So sometimes we get these great ideas, right? And we're like, oh, I can't wait to sell this product or offer this service. And we just want to start doing that. However, what we lack is that proper legal foundation to build our business upon. So when we start to get a lot of momentum with our business, we find ourselves having to backtrack because we've missed steps, or maybe we end up having to pay the IRS a lot of money because we missed some steps during the foundation period. So it's really important for me to be able to help entrepreneurs, one, to make sure they have a very good legal foundation, and then two, to make sure that they're entering into contracts and taking the appropriate steps to really protect themselves and what it is that we're building. Like, we all love you, Quentin. We love the Q with Q. But think about all the creative things that are happening here, right? The Q with Q, like that's really catchy, right? Now, if I was someone else and my name maybe started with Q, my name was Qnisha or something like that, I was like, hey, I might want to steal that, right? I might want to utilize that. And so what happens is that we get so excited and wrapped up in offering our service or our product that we don't properly protect what it is we're offering. Somebody else finds out about it and they come in and snatch it up. Or we didn't properly protect ourselves in contracts. And now we find ourselves in an issue where we're being held liable or we owe a lot of money.
Right. Yeah. Listen, you said so many things right there, because this is my first year paying taxes as a business. I tell everybody, when y'all give money to Cash App, oh wait, I didn't even put the Bama child. When y'all do the Cash App, PayPal, all of that, like that, I claim that. It's not just in my personal bucket. Like, that goes into a business account. I account for all those dollars. But baby, I did not know, because baby, I got an IRS tax bill coming up. Oh my goodness. But now I know. I got an accountant now, and next year will be different. But yes, you said that you're absolutely correct. And I would say, to your point about like people finding things and using them, that's true too, because this wasn't my original name. My original thing was Cooking with Q, right? And I was using that until one day I ran across a girl who actually like is a chef, and her name was Cooking with Q. And she had been doing it like years before me. So I was just like, you know what? Clearly this was her thing. But I don't know that everybody would be, and this is not to prop me up or anything like that, but I don't know that everybody would think that way and be like, well, I'm using it. It is what it is, So yes, you are correct. Protect your things. So talk to us about trademarking, because that was something that I didn't realize that I needed to do, right? Which we're in the process of doing that. So that's another layer of protection, right? What does all that include? Trademarking. What is that?
So a lot of times we're like, I really want to protect my name. We don't want anyone to steal it, right? That's what we're talking about. We want to really protect the name that we're building a foundation on, that we're building momentum around. Right now, I think it's so important because social media has proven to be the new way of marketing. And I think it's been, kind of on the uprise for a while, but with COVID, like, it pretty much skyrocketed. Like, Instagram says the mall now at this point. I don't need to go to the gallery yet. So with that, you really want to protect the name that people attach to your social media handles or that people are attaching to your products. Because if someone else starts to use that name, they may think that, that company is offering the products that maybe you were offering because the names are similar, or they maybe got your name. So with trademark, that actually can protect your business name, your business logo, your business tagline or slogan. Those are the main things. You can also do color. Like when we see the Tiffany's boxes or the bags, we're like, oh, that's from Tiffany's, right? Or the certain sound on CSI, they have trademarked the sound, like the dun dun sound when something happens in the show. That's trademarked. So there are many things that we can trademark, but the three most popular are going to be your business name, your logo, and your slogan. When you trademark something with, well, federally trademark it, this happens with the United States Patent and Trademark Office. By trademarking it, you have exclusive rights to use that name, logo, or slogan for the same or similar services that you offer. So if for Nike, for example, right, they have Nike trademark, they sell athletic products, sports equipment, things like that. No one else can use the word Nike or something that's similar to it. The same with their logo, which is the swoosh sign. Can't be anything similar that's put on a shoe, because that is what they actually sell. And so it's going to protect other companies from being able to utilize it. I do want to warn you, you don't have like exclusive power, right? So Nike can't say you can't sell tires with that name, or you can't have a cooking show with that name. They have their stuff trademarked, for clothing, for sports equipment, but things that are outside of their sphere, outside of their industry that they don't have a trademark for, you can absolutely utilize those names. So trademark it to protect your name, your logo, or your slogan, but for the services or goods that you actually offer.
Now, would you recommend somebody who has an idea to just start trademarking things, or do you recommend like there be a proof of concept? And what I mean by proof of concept is a business term, right? Like you have an idea and basically you're doing the thing and you're proving that it works. It doesn't have to be this grand $1 million idea, but you have a track record of like, hey, this is working. Either it's consistent or it's keeping me at a certain level. When should one get a trademark?
So got it. So I kind of want to steer away from the word idea, because we can't legally protect ideas. We can protect inventions with a patent. We can protect, like I said, names, logos, things like that with trademarks. We can even protect scripts or Twitter posts, songs, videos, photographs. Those are protected by copyrights. But ideas, we just can't protect an idea. Now, if it is something that can be trademarked, then we will want to go ahead and utilize the trademark process for that. I think that with Clubhouse, a lot of people were sharing business ideas. And so with that, there's not really a way that you can protect an idea itself.
Right.
And that's why we talked about those non-disclosure agreements, because you can use contracts, but you can't really utilize some method of protection to actually protect it. There isn't anything to protect ideas.
Right.
And so I think your main question is kind of going towards proof, right? So one thing that and when we did your application, we had to show proof of actually how you use this item that we actually trademarked. So Nike, for example, they had to show proof. How do you utilize your name and your logo with the products or services you offer? We could have used, and I didn't represent them, but I'm just saying if we were trying to submit an application, for Nike and related to what they do, we could have showed screenshots from their website that shows the logo or the name in the top corner, and then it has the products listed that they sell. We could have shown maybe an advertisement, like a PDF of an ad they had where, it had the Nike sign, the word Nike, maybe an athlete kicking around a ball or something with like clothing on that maybe had the Nike logo on it or something like that. So yes, in order to submit a trademark application, you need to show that you're actively using it or how you're using it in commerce. There is another option, and it's called an intent to use trademark application, which means, hey, I'm not yet selling items or I'm not yet offering services with this, but I intend to in the near future. And so you can start that trademark process. However, they check in every 6 months. Hey, are you using it now? 6 months later, are you using it now? And you have to keep paying every 6 months to hold that name in place until you can actively show how you're using it in commerce.
Oh, okay. That sounds like a lot of money. But I mean, it's good to know that there are options, right? If you're not really ready to move forward with whatever your thing is, since we're staying away from the word idea. You said something in there. You talked about NDAs. Now that's my new favorite word. NDA is my new favorite word because like anybody that I'm doing business with now, I'm like, oh, hold on, I got a little NDA for you. Hold on real quick. Hold on 1 second. So what's the purpose of an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement, at a minimal level, or just what's the purpose, and then how far can you take an NDA?
Right. So I'm glad that you actually said non-disclosure agreement, because sometimes there's so many different terms or acronyms. People are like, what are we talking about? Is it complicated enough with the legal stuff? Okay. Right. NDA is a non-disclosure agreement. That's a type of contract that actually can protect your ideas that you are sharing with another individual. So say hot dog on a stick, for example, right? Like they have a recipe that they use to make their corn dogs. a recipe that they use to make that good lemonade that we're addicted to and go get a lot.
Yeah.
And so say they're working with a chemist to try to get these ingredients perfected so that they can start to make them on a larger scale and, franchise out their business. So they'll bring in a chemist or something like that to figure out what the exact measurements are in order to make it on a bigger scale. The company itself, Hot Dog on a Stick, would have that chemist sign a non-disclosure agreement that says, hey, I'm sharing confidential information with you, trade secrets, if you will, right? What you're signing basically says that you won't share this information because it's information that you did not have access to before you begin working with me. In my non-disclosure agreements, we typically have non-compete language in there, which also says that for a period of 12 months after we sign this agreement, you cannot conduct the same type of business or try to start the same type of business or offer the same type of product as what you just prepared for me. Because maybe they said, oh, well, I didn't share the ingredients, but now they came out with their own lemonade line.
Right. Now,
how you competing with me. What? I don't appreciate that, right?
Yeah.
And so in those instances, that's where the non-disclosure agreement would help because we have non-compete language in there that says you can't compete with me. And then we have the non-disclosure that says you cannot disclose any confidential information that you learned while working with me. Now, anything that you had, privy knowledge to before you started working with me, that's yours. Anything that you learned from working with me, no, you're not going to disclose that to anyone.
Right. And I love that. That's in business, but you can, and we worked on something, we won't say what it was, but we worked on a non-disclosure that it could have been business and it started personal. Like you can have non-disclosure agreements in a personal capacity as well. Briefly touch on that.
Yeah, so I've actually had a client who was going to have pretty much like a mentor. And they were going to exchange ideas pretty much with the mentor. The mentor was going to help my client. The client was also going to do work with the mentor. But they would be kind of exchanging services with each other. And so that is a personal relationship because it's a mentor-mentee. But at the same time, you just want to be smart about protecting what it is that you're exchanging. We may not necessarily start out with the intent to kind of take an idea and run with it on our own. But as you're starting to interact, in today's world, you have to be quick to act on those ideas. And you don't want to then have someone else act on something that you maybe thought of. So even in your personal relationships, even when you're maybe transacting business with a friend who may be a vendor, even when you may be exchanging ideas, it's just best to have the contract to avoid bigger conflict. Because what you don't want is to be salty at somebody because they don't want to took this idea, had the funds to really blow it up and make it something big. And now you're like, the hope, looking at George Foreman with the George Foreman grill, like, well, I could have acted on it.
Right.
But I didn't act on it quick enough.
Right.
So I'm not saying that the hope utilized, but if you know the backstory, the idea was brought to the Hope first. He didn't act on it quick enough. George Foreman got the George Foreman grill, and we all know the George Foreman grill now.
Boom. Boom. So because I don't want to be I don't want to be upset on the other side of friendship if the friendship even survives. Right. So the NDA was my new favorite word. Yeah, I was like, what? Oh, we can do this. Oh, get me a few of those, please. Wonderful. Okay, so another thing, and I'm just speaking from experience. We're gonna stay on contracts, right? So I have interns, right? And even in my intern agreement, we have an NDA clause, right? Non-disclosure agreement clause, and my independent contractors. Now, what I found interesting, and I don't know if anybody else has done these, it shouldn't be fun, but I think the fun part for me in this, I'm weird. The fun part for me in these contracts is like you have let's say the intern agreement that you drafted for me, and let's say the independent contractor agreement that you drafted, or really the independent contractor agreement you drafted for me. What is it? Attachment A. So you have language in there that's like, okay, we're going to pay you for these services. See attachment A. And like when I go to attachment A, I can type in everything that I want. Everything that I want. I don't know why I have so much fun with attachment A. Talk to us about, just because nobody knows what I'm talking about right now. Just talk to us about that.
Okay, so independent contract agreements. You can build specific contracts for each specific person you're entering into an agreement with. Or you'll learn that a lot of attorneys or even some of these legal websites will sell you what's called like a template agreement, which is a very general agreement. And then you can kind of fill in the areas to make it personalized to you. So what Quentin is talking about is with an independent contractor template agreement. It's going to be something that can be used with more than one person, right? The language is not written specifically for one person. So in the description of services, what this independent contractor will provide for his company, you know, we have the area for him to have an attachment A, which is like an added on page that says, hey, refer to attachment A to look at the description of services that you'll complete. So maybe I may use this independent contractor agreement for my photographer so that I can get my branding photos done. And so in there, we'll discuss, you know, how many shots the photographer will provide, what type of editing services they'll provide, how many hours, right? When I'll get those edited shots, do I get access to the raw photos as well as edited photos? You know, maybe I'm using it for that. Then I also want to bring on someone who's just kind of going to do some video editing for me while I'm going to kind of use commercials to promote my services. Well, then I need an independent contractor agreement for them. I actually want to redo my website. I may need to hire a web designer for that, independent contract. So I can utilize it for all these things. And so in the attachment A, I'm going to fill in the language that really highlights the services that individual person is going to complete for me. And so that's what he's referring to, right? For each worker that he has, they're going to provide different services for him. So in attachment A, he gets to fill out exactly what they're going to do. And then we're going to add in language to kind of pad it up and say, and any additional services that fall along these lines or that the company sees fit. Because we don't want someone to say, like the people who found themselves having to take temperatures at their job, you know, due to COVID. And it's like, this isn't in my job description. Well, the job says, you know, or any other services that we may see fit for you to handle.
Correct.
So it kind of adds in just other things that may not necessarily be addressed, but that you need somebody to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. The people are saying this is great information in the comments, and it is. I love attachment A. I love it because I did one the other day. I'm not going to say names. Somebody's doing some work, and I was like, okay, and the deliverables will be done in a month, but on this date, like you get to be so specific. And so there's no wiggle room per se. If because I mean, people are people, right? And in the event that a person that you're hiring isn't honorable just based on a handshake, right? Or whatever. Hey, no, baby, that contract you signed, you said, I'm going to have my stuff on this day, okay? You said I'm going to get this, you know, you agree to these things. I think that's why I love attachment A so much.
Right. And as the officer said the other day, you know, the courts are for disputing things. So now that we have this contract, we're going to take it to the courts to dispute it, okay? I'm not going to waste time going back and forth with you.
I'm not going to waste time because you said this is what we was going to do. So yeah, I have the most fun with attachment A. That's just fun for me. Guys, Marina's information is down at the bottom of the screen. Definitely make sure you hit her up. I'm seeing some people saying I'm learning before I even started. Listen, put her in your phone. Okay, visit banksolutionspllc.com. Also, Marina, what's your Instagram?
So my Instagram tag is Bank Solutions. When you find it, it'll probably say the Legal Queen, Bank Solutions. But, you know, I'm not as talented as Quentin is with the TikTok. But I'm trying to come along with these reels, y'all. Y'all DM me some ideas, what you want to see, what you want to learn about some more. I'll be happy to provide information.
Listen, just keep going. Look, now I can teach you something. Just keep posting. That's all I can say. Just keep posting and you'll find your own thing and it'll just go. So yeah, Marina, thank you so very much for being here and giving us these gems, really. And I really hope the people that are watching and the people that will watch the replay definitely hit Marina up. Like I said, Marina is my lawyer, my business lawyer. So I'm not just plucking her out of the sky. I stand by it. So. Guys, that has been it, or that is it for, it's not really a daily political briefing, but you know that's the name of the show. So until next time, guys, and Jesus says the same, I will be back on Monday, which will be a full day. So I'll give you an update on my meeting with the sergeant and any other thing that happens. So until then, I love you in the Lord, everyone. Have a great weekend. A lot of people watched it, but nobody's watching day to day, all day, unless you're me and just love this stuff. Procedures are okay, but we want to know, where do you stand? And so I think the more that politicians stop trying to be politicians and be people, then that will engage voters. We reject alternative facts, so come on in here and let me educate you on the facts.